The following program is sponsored by CBN.
Coming up, she lost her family.
My kids are gone. My great love of my life is gone.
Living in the woods.
This was my lot in life. This was it for me. I knew I would die of this.
This homeless mom thought she'd wind up dead in the great outdoors.
I knew, and I accepted it.
The leap of faith that saved her life.
Okay, I'll take that leap of faith. I will.
On today's 700 Club. Welcome to the 700 Club. Inflation and abortion. Those are the top two hot button issues hovering over the upcoming midterm elections. Well, today's latest inflation report shows April prices increased 8.3% over last year.
Well, President Biden tried to get in front of the inflation issue with an address to the nation yesterday. Meanwhile, Senate Democrats are planning a vote to codify Roe v. Wade into federal law. Heather Sells reports on both of these midterm maneuvers.
The president sees inflation as his top domestic priority, and for good reason. Both parties believe it will be the voters' #1 issue come November's election.
I know you got to be frustrated. I know.
Biden's not taking the blame, though. Instead, he's pointing the finger at supply chain problems, the war in Ukraine, and the GOP.
They don't want to solve inflation by lowering your costs. They want to solve it by raising your taxes and lowering your income.
And some Democratic voters say the president is not to blame.
Because of the whole world seeing and the global pandemic that we experienced, there's little that could be done. I don't care what party was in the office.
Still, a new CNN poll spells out the president's troubles. It shows the public views this current economy as the worst in a decade. And a majority of U.S. adults say Biden's policies have hurt the economy. Midterm elections historically have served as a referendum on a president's performance. Biden hopes to avoid that by contrasting his policies with the GOP's. On Tuesday, he said he's reducing the deficit and working to make the wealthy and corporations pay more. And he pointed to a proposal by Florida Senator Rick Scott saying that Republicans want to raise taxes on families and end Social Security.
The other path is the Ultra MAGA plan.
Biden is also trying out new branding for Republicans, calling them MAGA or Ultra MAGA.
And I think what has struck him is how extreme some of the policies and proposals are that a certain wing of the Republican Party that is taking up too much of the Republican Party are for and are advocating for.
After last week's leak of a Supreme Court draft opinion on abortion suggesting it might overturn Roe v. Wade, it is clear abortion will be a big issue for some voters this year.
I think that most of our people will be voting based on values and worldview issues more than, maybe even more than economic issues, although I think they're all tied together.
But which side will galvanize more, those who support or oppose abortion? On Tuesday, outgoing Press Secretary Jen Psaki may have bungled her messaging on protests outside conservative justices' homes.
I know that there's an outrage right now, I guess, about protests that have been peaceful to date, and we certainly continue to encourage that outside of judges' homes, and that's the president's position.
Conservatives quickly pushed back.
The Supreme Court is one thing, absolutely, go there and state your opinions on either side of the issue, but people's homes adds a level of implicit threat that I think is inappropriate.
Senate Democrats are pushing for a vote on a bill to provide federal protection for abortion rights. It is not expected to pass, and many top Democrats are saying privately that the economy, not abortion, is what will move voters this year. Heather Sells, CBN News.
Well, for more on this story, joining us now is CBN Chief Political Analyst David Brody. So, David, the president spent a lot of time yesterday blaming Republicans, then blaming Russia, and then blaming COVID for inflation. Is that going to convince voters?
No, well, clearly not, Gordon. Look, the president has said all along that the buck stops with him. Well, yesterday in that speech, it seemed like the buck stopped in many other places, but not with the president. And I think that's the problem. Look, people just aren't buying it, Gordon. And don't take my word for it. Just look at the poll. And maybe I should use the word, it should be plural. Polls. I mean, poll after poll shows that Joe Biden is underwater with the economy. And it's not just with Republicans. Even quite a few Democrats are concerned. And then, of course, we get to independents where the bread is buttered, if you will. And so there's all sorts of problems. So this idea that you're going to blame Republicans, you're going to blame Putin, you're going to blame COVID is just not going to fly at all. Oh, and this just in, COVID started in 2020 under Trump. So this idea that inflation would all of a sudden be the main reason, COVID would be the main reason for inflation, that doesn't pass the smell test as well.
Well, it's not passing the smell test with Democrat economists. And so the economists from the Clinton administration all lining up saying it's the policies of the administration that are absolutely fueling the rise in inflation, and it's the runaway deficits and the unbelievable federal spending that's the rocket fuel for this. How are they responding to that?
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, when you have Larry Summers, the former Treasury Secretary under the Obama administration, in essence saying these policies, it's too much. It's way too much. And this Build Back Better, which has never really gotten full traction, is a disaster as well. You've got problems when it's within your own party. And then we have the Consumer Price Index down a little bit. It was 8.5%. Now it's 8.3%. The projections thought it would be 8.1%. So there's kind of good news and bad news here. I think the projections that it would be lower at 8.1%. It wasn't that low. It was 8.3. So there's a sense here that the Biden administration is not just treading water, but they're flailing away right now, and they really don't have a plan. I mean, that's the problem. When you lead with the fact that it's Republicans' fault and COVID's fault and Putin's fault, and you don't have a plan, that suggests you've got major problems.
Well, let's push on to the other big issue that I think is going to dominate the midterms, and that's the Supreme Court, Roe versus Wade. And then Schumer is now pushing for a federal law codifying Roe versus Wade for all the states. So how is that vote going to turn out? And is this really going to be a rallying cry in the midterms?
Well, here's the problem, Gordon. Democrats think it's going to be a rallying cry, but let's just look at this from a numerical standpoint, from an analytical standpoint as well. What progressives in this country are what? Maybe tops 20%. So if you're going to galvanize your base, you're galvanizing potentially 20% of the folks that are for all of this. But the folks in the middle are not for this. The independents, Republicans clearly are not. And so what is your campaign cry? More abortions? Abortions all the way through in terms of late-term abortion? I mean, this is what you want to codify into law, in essence? I mean, that just is not going to fly in flyover country, if you will, in heartland America. And I think this is the problem for Democrats all along, that they're just not in step. And they think they are, but they're just not. And they are in for a rude awakening. And look, Chuck Schumer has been at this for a very long time. And, you know, this kind of goes in with the protests that we're seeing outside the judges' homes as well, the justices' homes. You know, Chuck Schumer a couple of years ago called for Gorsuch and Kavanaugh to pay the price. I mean, that's a bit of insurrectionist talk, if you will. And look what we're seeing today. And so the Democrats have all sorts of PR problems here, not just on the codifying of Roe v. Wade, but on the protests outside of justices' homes. Middle class Americans, heartland Americans, independent Americans. Let's forget the both polarizing sides for a second. Just kind of the heartland of this country. They see what's happening. They don't like it. And oh, by the way, did I bury the lead? The science is not on Democrats' side here. That's a big part of the problem here as well.
Well, I'm amazed at the position they're taking. I mean, you go back to Bill Clinton again, and you know, he signed into law a ban on partial birth abortion, and then amazingly, the Supreme Court struck down that law on the basis that it violated Roe versus Wade. I thought Hillary Clinton lost the race when she announced in the 2016 presidential debates that she was in favor of late-term abortion, and it just amazes me that they have switched so much in just a few decades that you have to have abortion on demand at any point in time in the pregnancy, including the day of birth. It makes no sense to me, and I don't see that as a winning issue for them in the midterms.
No, it's not, Gordon. You're making a great point here because they're trying to shoehorn the abortion into what they did with the marriage issue, right? I mean, we started with civil unions and it became gay marriage. Now we're into the transgender issues here. And so the Democrats see this as a leaning forward issue, a progressive issue. We're going to change the culture, a living, breathing Constitution. They're trying to do the same thing with abortion to kind of push the envelope. The problem is the science is not on their side, and that's where the rubber meets the road, and that's why they're having so much pushback, because it's just not with them here at all, and it's just not working, and they need to understand that. But they won't. They won't. They've doubled down. They've tripled down, and the red wave is a-coming in 2022.
Well, let's talk about the red wave real quick. How do you see the primaries stacking up for Republicans? It looks like Biden is trying to paint everybody as some kind of super MAGA. What's your view? What's your view of the power of a Trump endorsement? And where is the Republican Party heading?
There is no doubt that a Trump endorsement is crucial. I mean, look what's happening in Pennsylvania with Dr. Oz. He's up +7 since Trump endorsed him. We know Alex Mooney won last night in West Virginia against a guy, another Republican, who voted for that January 6th committee to be formed. And so that's a good indication of Trump's staying power, especially in a place like West Virginia. But you just go down the list. I mean, he was 22-0 last week. So, I mean, he's doing very, very well. A Trump endorsement is key to all of this. So, I mean, I think you look at that, and you know, ultimately, it looks like Trump's going to be the kingmaker again as we move forward.
David, thanks for the insights.
You bet.
In other news, Russia's anger over Western military aid to Ukraine could result in a widening war. John Jessup has that story from our CBN News Bureau in Washington. John?
And that is right, Gordon. Top U.S. officials sending that signal Tuesday in Senate testimony. One military general warning Russia could resort to nuclear weapons if the country feels as though it faces a, quote, existential threat. And the director of national intelligence cautioned the conflict in the next few months could become increasingly unpredictable and potentially escalatory.
And the most likely flashpoints for escalation in the coming weeks are around increasing Russian attempts to interdict Western security assistance, retaliation for Western economic sanctions, or threats to the regime at home.
Avril Haines suggesting President Vladimir Putin is preparing Russia for a prolonged conflict with ambitions beyond the Donbass. Haines describing Putin's focus on eastern Ukraine as a temporary shift. Meanwhile, the Senate will weigh whether to approve a $40 billion emergency aid package to Ukraine passed by the U.S. House of Representatives yesterday. Well, as the war continues, millions of refugees who have fled Ukraine face an uncertain future. One mom shared her thoughts about the dangers caused by the fighting and how Operation Blessing helped lighten the load.
We packed our things in one day and left. What struck me the most was how when you leave and you look out the train window, there are only men standing there. And you understand that maybe you won't see these people again. And maybe you won't come back to this city because there might be nothing left.
Valentina and her family left their home because of the increasing danger from Russian shelling. Valentina explained how hard it was to leave her life behind and flee into the unknown.
When you live in a complete family all your life and have everything, work, life, some plans for the future, and you want to become someone, then in one moment you realize you need to quit everything and run. It's scary. You don't even know what will happen minute by minute, because at any moment you can die.
Like many Ukrainian refugees, Valentina and her family faced uncertainty. But thanks to Operation Blessing partners, Valentina's family was met at the Medica border by compassionate volunteers who helped them on their journey.
Yes, volunteers are helping a lot. Some giving food, some carrying bags, some showing you where to go next. We really appreciate it, because when we left, we didn't have an exact plan. It was impossible to plan anything.
Thanks to Operation Blessing partners, we will continue to help crisis victims like Valentina and her family in Poland. We're providing refugee families a warm place to recover, hot meals, essential supplies, and loving encouragement.
You come to a point and need to go further, but don't know what to do or who to ask. Then, when a volunteer helps you, It's a very big help.
Help for Valentina and so many others in their critical time of need. Gordon?
And that help comes from you. If you're a member of the 700 Club, you're part of that help. You're part of everything we're doing around the world, and we're doing all of this in your name. So that thank you, that help, that came from you. So thank you for all that you're doing for the refugees in Ukraine. Ashley?
Well, up next, from grocery stores to gas pumps, prices everywhere are skyrocketing. See what's behind this rampant inflation and find out how you can protect your pocketbook. Then later, a homeless camp in the woods. That's where this mother of 5 spent 15 years. See how she wound up there and how she got out. That's coming up.
President Biden puts the blame for soaring inflation on current events and the GOP. Well, media executive Steve Forbes disagrees. He says it's the president's policies that are making inflation even worse. Gary Lane has more.
Inflation has already hit 40-year highs, stretching pocketbooks and causing hardship for many Americans. Some economists call it inflation shock, accompanied by predictions of a recession. The Federal Reserve is responding by raising interest rates. Forbes Media CEO and former Republican presidential candidate Steve Forbes believes the Fed's efforts to cool down the economy may only make matters worse.
That's what they mean when they say soft landing. What they really mean is more unemployment, and too often it leads to a crash landing for the economy.
In his new book, Inflation, Forbes provides readers an easy-to-understand primer on inflation, why it's bad and how to fix it. He says skyrocketing price increases are only the symptoms, not the cause of inflation. Forbes blames out-of-control spending as one cause. Americans have seen the national debt triple since President Obama entered office in January 2009. It now stands at more than $30 trillion. Forbes points to a concept embraced by Congress and the president called modern monetary theory.
Modern monetary theory says you can devalue the dollar, you can print as many dollars as you like, spend as much as you like without consequences. And that's what we're experiencing today. They trash the dollar, they hurt production, and prices go up.
And what about non-monetary inflation? A COVID outbreak caused China's communist government to confine Shanghai residents to their homes during the month of April. That led to a slowdown in manufacturing. Shanghai is a manufacturing hub and home to the world's largest port. Similar lockdowns are already underway in parts of Beijing. So how might that affect the global supply chain and prices here in the United States?
Do you expect prices of many consumer products to jump even more so due to lack of availability?
Well, what that means is that price increases are going to be continuing to be with us. And that's, again, the non-monetary kind of inflation, this kind of artificial disruption, shutting down a whole city, the most sophisticated, largest city in China. Very foolish, but they did it, and that hurts. And those kinds of things, that monetary kind of inflation, Gary, is something that if governments just leave the economy alone, people will work it out, get around it.
Forbes believes Americans need to be prepared for worse inflation in the months ahead.
Do you think prices are bad now? Wait until a year and a half if the Federal Reserve follows through on printing a lot more money. Then you're going to really hurt at the pump and at the marketplace.
As individuals seek to protect their money and investments, they could be tempted to look to cryptocurrency. Forbes, however, prefers stablecoins over Bitcoin.
Stablecoin cryptocurrencies are tied to a specific asset like gold or the dollar. So you don't get the kind of fluctuations. And so Bitcoin, you would never take a mortgage out in Bitcoin. Let's say you took a $250,000 mortgage out in Bitcoin, you may up a year later owing $2.5 million. And so that kind of instability doesn't make it work as a currency. But I see the time coming, and we discuss this in the book, is that stable coins could eventually be a competitor to government money like the dollar or the pound or the yen or the euro. People use these stable coins rather than the untrustworthy money that comes from government.
And I can't let you go without asking you, flat tax? You still believe in that?
I believe it in more than ever, as we now have literally millions of words in the corrupt federal income tax code that nobody understands. The IRS is hopeless today. I used to say bury the code, but the EPA probably wouldn't allow that since it's so toxic. So just throw it out and just start all over again, single rate. Under a flat tax, for example, a family of four, their first $52,800 of salary would be free of federal income tax. Go to a simple flat tax, go to doing what we did for 180 years, fix the dollar to gold, and by golly, you'd see this country boom like it's never done before.
Gary Lane, CBN News.
I'd love to see America boom like it's never done before. We've been in difficult circumstances in our history. We've gone through a whole lot, and we need to realize God's still with us, and he wants to see us succeed. He wants to bless America. God bless America. He wants to honor the prayers of all of our founders. We need to turn to him, though, first, and I'm not seeing that so far. Things are going to get worse, and when they do, let us hope that we turn to the only solution. Steve Swer's book is called Inflation, What It Is, Why It's Bad, and How to Fix It, and you can find it wherever books are sold. Ashley?
Well, up next, meet a couple who felt the pinch of rising prices when every single penny was like life or death. See how an investment helped them quadruple their income. That story's coming up. Plus, a deadly tornado tears apart 3/4 of an entire town. In its wake, people line the streets for blocks to get help. See who's helping these residents restock and rebuild when we come back.
Jamar was running a small catering business when the pandemic hit. Then he had to refund close to $10,000 in deposits. Before long, he was struggling to pay his bills, and this top chef was living on food stamps.
I just love to cook in general, no matter what it is.
Jamar Sheffey worked as the sous chef and head of catering for a large hospital before God launched him full-time into his own catering business.
Felt like God was more than just a nudge. I felt like he just pushed me off the cliff.
Building the business took time and was slow going, making it hard to provide for his stay-at-home wife, Katy, and their kids.
There's a few times where I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. So yeah, it definitely got discouraging at some points.
And while the couple wanted to tithe, they didn't think they could afford it.
I mean, I felt like every single penny, it was like life or death. And then sometimes it would just get so heavy, it would be crushing.
They already had a consolidated loan and didn't want more debt. Still, they had to replace their flooring as it was causing bad allergic reactions.
We had to apply the charges to our credit card. Not something that I personally wanted to do, but I knew for the health of my daughter and myself, we had to take those steps.
Other critical home repairs were set aside while basic family living expenses kept piling up. The couple needed a breakthrough. Then, at their church's New Year's 2020 Vision Night, they decided it was time to start tithing.
I didn't want to stand before him and have to answer the question of, why didn't you give me your first best? I just couldn't do it no more.
Not long after that, the pandemic hit.
We started getting emails and calls of clients wanting to get refunds because they had to reschedule or they just had to simply cancel. And I do remember us refunding close to $10,000 around that time, which was pretty much all we had.
Our bank account was to a point where it was like, I mean, how are we gonna make it into the next day?
They couldn't keep up with their utility bills, and they also had to use food stamps.
It's never a good feeling not to be able to have enough money to pay your bills. I mean, it's not a good feeling just as a man, period. You know, sometimes you just kind of feel like a failure.
Their church helped them get by. Meanwhile, the couple got pandemic relief money and surrendered one of their cars before it was slated for repossession. During that time, they gave offerings when they could. However, as much as the Sheffeys desired to, they still didn't put tithing first.
We weren't putting all our faith in God at that time. I call it like the inner conflict. It was, do I still want to remain closed-fisted? Or do I want to fully trust God and open up my hands and give him everything that I had?
Jamar says what God said next helped him to let go.
He just said, next year will be the best financial year you ever had, and he wanted me to say it. So I turned to my wife and I told her.
I think I had a blank stare on my face, like, yeah, right. Like, come on, babe. Like, let's be realistic.
Soon, Jamar was hired as a consultant and trainer for a new barbecue restaurant. And when Vision Night came around again, he heard God tell him they were supposed to give $10,000 the next year, no matter what.
I said, okay, I'm going to see if your word is true. You say your word doesn't come back void, we're going to test it. At that point, I was able to put the pressure on God.
It was almost like an aha revelation moment. Like, you know, you tell your children over and over again the same exact thing until they're finally like, okay, I get it. And then they obey. So I think it was kind of like that.
By faith, they finally put tithing first and ended up giving even more than they'd planned to. With his new position at the barbecue restaurant and increased catering work, Jamar's income quadrupled by the end of the year. The Sheffeys had enough money to take care of their home repairs, plus pay off their remaining car and part of their loan.
It was our heart to pay off those, to bring debt down, to have more financial freedom, to give so that others, you know, would experience, like, why are you guys so generous? Like, why are you just so freely giving? You know, and we always say, you know, that's not us, that's him.
Jamar has acquired several new catering contracts and now has his own cooking show in the works. His income continues to go up, and the couple plans to tithe and give more than ever.
I can't afford not to tithe because God can't lie. So if you do your part, he has to bless you. Just start tithing and don't stop. It'll just change your life forever.
I've never heard it put this way. Put the pressure on God. Isn't that amazing? Here they are in the middle of a pandemic. They have to refund a bunch of deposits. All their dreams seem to be crashing all around them. And they make a resolution, we're going to tithe. And in that resolution, they're going to start making declarations. This is going to be the best year ever. When you're prompted to do these things, and then you follow through and you start declaring the promises of God over your finances, over your household, there's power in your words. So often our words are very negative, and we're literally cursing ourselves. Prophesy over yourself, prophesy that God's going to come through, and put the pressure on him. Here it is in Malachi chapter 3. Bring all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. And test me now in this. This is the only place you get to test God. Test me now in this, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open for you the windows of heaven and pour out for you a blessing, that there will not be room enough to receive it. The law of reciprocity calls for us to act. It calls for us to put it into motion. Give, and it will be given unto you. When you follow that, when you declare over it, when you say, I'm putting the pressure on God, I'm taking the financial pressure off of me, I'm putting it on him, then the blessings come. What happened to Katy and Jamar can happen to you if you just follow the same principles. It's not some get-rich-quick scheme, but when you consistently tithe, then you can count on God. You put the pressure on him, you take it off of you, and he always comes through. If you want to start a life of tithing, give us a call, 1-800-700-7000. When you give to the 700 Club, you're giving to preach the gospel around the world. A portion of every gift goes into the work of CBN International. Another portion goes into the work of Operation Blessing to help people around the world. And you're doing that very tangibly, both right here in America, where you're providing food for people in need, disaster relief for people who've gone through tornadoes and hurricanes, natural disasters. For all the refugees leaving Ukraine, you're helping them. And you're helping them very tangibly when you join. So if that's you, give us a call. 1-800-700-7000. Say, yes, I want to be a member of the 700 Club. Now, how much is it? It's $20 a month. That breaks out to 65 cents a day. Some of you can give at 700 Club Gold. That's $40 a month. 1,000 Club is $1,000 a year. That breaks out to $84 a month. At whatever level God is speaking to you, call us. 1-800-700-7000. Now, when you join the 700 Club, we're going to send you my father's latest teaching. It's called Putting on the Armor of God. It takes you through the book of Ephesians and teaches you how to wage spiritual warfare.
All these weapons are having to do with spiritual warfare. We can't deal against Satan unless we understand the fullness of the gospel. There will be fiery darts coming at you. All this armor of God is so important to the Christian to stand fast against the devil's wiles.
Get Pat's new audio recording, Putting on the Armor of God. Available now.
Saru earned $2.50 for a day of work, and she could only find work a couple months of the year. So when heavy winds and rain nearly blew down her roof, Saru had no money to build a new house.
Saru is a widow raising her 2 children. Their house, made of bamboo and palm leaves, was built by her late husband.
I got so scared when the wind and rain came and blew my house so hard that it shook. There was also water leaking through the roof. I tried to fix the holes in the roof, but there were so many. I don't have money to build another house.
Saru works hard to support her children.
I work in the rice field. On days I work, I earn about $2.50. But last year, I only worked for 70 days out of the whole year.
This is 4-year-old Kongkir.
When it rains, I have to stay in the house. The roof leaks and the house moves. I am afraid my house will fall down.
So Operation Blessing built the family a new house with solid walls and a metal door and roof.
I never dreamed that I would have a house like this. I am at a loss for words.
I am not afraid like I was before. I love this new house. Thank you so much to the people who helped build for us.
Wow, that thank you goes to our CBN partners. And you see in Scripture all of the time, so many times in Scripture, God states that he is the father to the fatherless and he is the protector of widows. So if you and I are created in his image, we are called to do the same. So if you're a CBN partner, that's exactly what you're doing. And if you're not, I encourage you to become one today, because as you just saw, you are helping orphans and widows and families in desperate need because of natural disaster, because of, lots of different reasons. But if you want to help people and if you want to spread the message of the gospel in doing so, join with CBN. It's really simple. All you have to do is give us a call at 1-800-700-7000, or you can go to cbn.com. Or you can do my personal favorite, I always like to say, which is text to give, which is text CBN to 71777, and then a giving page will automatically pop up. And from there, you can choose which level you would like to join at. There's different levels. You can start at 700 Club level, which is $20 a month, or you can go up from there, $40. And some of you who may already be partners can go even more up from there. So whatever God is putting on your heart, just be obedient to that. And our way of saying thank you, we're actually going to send you, this is our latest recording. This is called Putting on the Armor of God, Ephesians, Standing Firm in God's Protection and Power. Pat Robertson actually reads through the book of Ephesians, and I was actually listening to it as I was doing some house cleaning. And I honestly was so encouraged just listening to the word of God and Pat's awesome grandfather voice. I really enjoyed it. And then also there's a bonus segment at the end. Terry Mewson asks Pat some more questions just to allow him to expand on certain topics like spiritual warfare. So if you want this, partner with CBN today. It's really simple. Again, you can give us a call, 1-800-700-7000, go to cbn.com, or do my personal favorite, which is texting CBN to 71777. Gordon?
Well, Dawson Springs, Kentucky is a tiny little town with a great big heart. The people there take care of each other. One day, a tornado destroyed many of the homes in the area, and that's when a team from Operation Blessing arrived on the scene to help.
After a deadly EF4 tornado ripped through Dawson Springs, Kentucky, people struggled to feed their families while they rebuilt their homes.
For a small town, and for us to go through this, and we lost like 75% of our town, it's a very scary feeling.
We're worrying, will there be for next week? Can we make this stretch? And there are honestly some that don't still have food to eat. We're just a tiny little town with a great big heart.
In the wake of this devastation, Operation Blessing hosted a food distribution to help those in need. Dawson Springs Mayor Chris Smiley.
We're so grateful that the Operation Blessing has come in today, and they have blessed so many people. They had 5 blocks of cars, and they're still coming. They're going to give everything that's on that truck away, so it's a great day.
We're just now starting the rebuild, and long-term recovery is trying to get everything fired up and going. So, we're in it for the long haul, and we're glad Operation Blessing is as well.
Thanks to Operation Blessing partners, families received emergency meal kits full of rice, pasta, tuna, canned vegetables, and other staples. They also received hams right before Easter.
We're going to get to have a ham dinner now for Easter. I'm sorry. It's very humbling. But yeah, it means a lot to us. It really does.
It is truly a blessing. It's God sent. I just want to thank y'all. God bless y'all, and may the light shine upon y'all.
We try to take care of one another, and that's what God intends for us to do, is look out for each other, love one another, and take care of each other. And thank you all for helping to take care of us.
That thank you goes all the way to you, to your home. If you're a member of the 700 Club, you're part of that wonderful outreach to that town in Kentucky. Here they are devastated by a tornado. They're trying to help each other, but they need our help too, our help to provide for them. And you were there in their time of need. If you want to be a member of the 700 Club, if you want to join everything we're doing, it's real simple. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call us, 1-800-700-7000. You can also go to cbn.com, and when you give monthly on the internet, you automatically sign up for Pledge Express. You can ask for Pledge Express when you call. You can go to cbn.com, or you can take Ashley's favorite, which is text to give, CBN, text CBN to 71777. Either way, when you join with Pledge Express, we send you monthly teaching CDs or downloads, whatever your choice, called Power for Life. So if you'd like those, sign up for Pledge Express or just ask for it when you call 1-800-700-7000. Now, when you join right now and give right now, we're going to send you an extra teaching. It's called Putting on the Armor of God. If you join at 700 Club, we'll send you a copy. When you join at 700 Club Gold, we'll send you 3 copies. When you join at 1000 Club, we're going to send you 5 copies of it with instant streaming access or download, your choice. So this latest is from my father, and it will take you through the book of Ephesians. It will help you discover how to have God's power and protection over your life.
CBN presents Putting on the Armor of God, a brand new audio recording by Pat Robertson.
I pray that out of his glorious riches, he may strengthen you with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your heart through faith.
Become a CBN partner. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com to receive your copy of Putting on the Armor of God, available now.
The Apostle Paul's letter to the Ephesians is one of the greatest books in the entire Bible. He tells us who we are in Christ and how to live victoriously in the world today.
CBN presents Putting on the Armor of God, a brand new audio recording by Pat Robertson.
It will give you an understanding of your relationship with God, and it will guide you in your relationships with your spouse, your children, your co-workers, and other Christians.
Be encouraged as you listen to Pat's reading of the book of Ephesians.
I pray the Lord will bless you as you listen to his word, and that you will grow in the knowledge of his love, his power, and his plan for you.
Become a CBN partner. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com to receive your copy of Putting on the Armor of God.
Coming up next, her friends kept dying.
We were all on the same page. We were getting our drug. That was number one.
Then she OD'd herself.
This is what was expected of me.
How a leap of faith rescued this homeless addict.
If you go to the woods, you know you're going to die, or you trust us.
Next.
Welcome back to Washington for the CBN News Break. The Palestinian Authority is accusing Israel of killing a journalist born in Jerusalem who was also a U.S. citizen. She was killed during an Israeli counterterrorism raid today in the Palestinian city of Jenin. Shireen Abu Akleh was a well-known Palestinian reporter for the Arabic language news outlet Al Jazeera. Abu Akleh was rushed to a Palestinian hospital where she later died. Israel asked for a joint investigation, but the Palestinian Authority has refused to cooperate. Israel produced video it initially said showed that it was more likely Palestinian gunmen who killed Abu Akleh during the firefight, but later said it was unclear who fired the bullet that killed the veteran journalist. The incident comes against the backdrop of a surge in terror attacks over the last 2 months, where 19 Israelis have been murdered. Many of the terrorists have come from Jenin. Well, here at home, some tech news. If the sale of Twitter goes through, Elon Musk says the platform's most prominent banned user, Donald Trump, will have his account restored. The Tesla CEO and world's richest man made the announcement Tuesday at an auto conference, saying it was, quote, a mistake to ban Mr. Trump in the wake of the January 6th Capitol attack. For his part, the former president has said he will not return to Twitter. Instead, he says he'll stay on his own Truth Social platform. Well, you can always get the latest from CBN News by going to our website at cbnnews.com. Gordon and Ashley will be back with more of the 700 Club right after this.
Another beer, another bottle, another hit. Joanne did whatever it took to get high and to stay high. At 40 years old, she wound up homeless and living in the woods. Here's what happened the day someone challenged Joanne to take a leap of faith.
We concentrated on staying high and getting high and things you had to do to get high. We were all on the same page. We were getting our drug. That was number one.
Joanne Renucci's life had become a statistic. In her 40s and living in a homeless camp in the woods, she had just one thing left: drugs.
My kids are gone. My great love of my life is gone. I was a disappointment to my family. This is what was expected of me.
As a child, Joanne had a learning disability and struggled in school. Though her parents tried to help and support her, Joanne couldn't shake the feeling that she couldn't measure up to her 4 siblings.
I can see the sadness in my mom and my dad's eyes when I bring home like report cards. And they were always D's and F's. So, I just knew I was a disappointment to them.
So as a teen, she distanced herself from her family, rebelling against her parents and experimenting with alcohol and drugs.
I found out that it made me feel good, and feeling like the disappointment I was, it kind of took the edge off. And I knew I could keep filling it by getting another beer, another bottle, another hit, and I'd be okay temporarily.
At 14, she began dating a 19-year-old. He was everything to her, and as soon as Joanne turned 18, she went to live with him. 3 years later, she found out how much she meant to him when she got pregnant and he left her.
I thought I'd finally achieved something, a family, and I'd be happy. And then when he left me, and he was my great love, my first love, my great love. And when he left me, I was done.
Joanne's mother stepped in to raise the baby as Joanne dove deeper into drugs and alcohol.
I didn't have to think about anything else being different from my siblings because they were smart and they were successful and they had families and they were doing everything right. I never thought I could have that.
During the next 2 decades, Joanne would marry and divorce twice, have 4 more children, lose custody of them, and eventually wind up living in a homeless camp in the woods, supporting her addiction through prostitution. Outreach groups tried to help those in the camp find freedom from addiction. But for Joanne,
I didn't want to be reached. This was my lot in life. This was it for me. I knew I would die of this. I knew, and I accepted it.
it would take the better part of 15 years and the deaths of many friends for Joanne to see her life as it was.
People started dying around me that I really cared about, like family. I started getting like, wait a minute, there's gotta be more. You don't have to live like this.
So when one of the outreach groups who tried to help Joanne for years offered her housing in an apartment, she accepted. But when she overdosed and got evicted 2 years later, they spelled out her options.
If you go to the woods, you know you're gonna die, or you trust us. Take a leap of faith. We're here for you. We never left you. We will go through this with you. And with those words, I knew I was truly loved and cared about. And I said, okay, I'll take that leap of faith. I will. I'll do it.
They helped Joanne get into a rehab program where she met a Christian woman who gave her a Bible and began sharing with her about Jesus.
I didn't know God. I knew of him, but I didn't know him. She would teach, about God and his word, and it looked like everything I was searching for my whole life.
Over the coming weeks, Joanne spent every moment she could reading the Bible and discovering how God sees her.
I couldn't put the Bible down. I knew the words were true because I was feeling it. And this is where God happened to me. This is where God happened and showed himself. He showed up. God showed up.
Discovering that God loved and accepted her just as she was, Joanne made a decision.
I gave my life to Christ in the rehab. That's what I was looking for all this time. All this time, it was right there. It was right there. And each time I was touched by the hand of God, I was touched. And nothing was ever the same.
She says God took away her desire for drugs and alcohol and also helped her restore her relationships with her family.
I buried myself. I buried my past. I buried that old person who was lost and sad. I buried that person. And here I am.
Today, Joanne returns often to the homeless camp where she used to live to share the hope she found in Jesus Christ.
He accepts me. He's proud of me. I'm not a disappointment. I'm God's treasure. I'm his daughter.
I'm God's treasure. When you have that identity, when you know his love towards you, where you know how tenderly, how infinitely he loves you, when you have that and you have the security of that, well, then nothing else can satisfy. Nothing else comes even close to it. You can have that too. What Joanne did, where she said, the old Joanne is buried. I've been raised into newness of life. That is what Jesus does for us. We literally get regenerated from our innermost being. And the relationship he created us for, that relationship where he shows up, you can hear his voice, you can feel his presence. He wants to be with you. He wants to take care of all of you. It's wonderful news. It's the best news anyone has ever heard. That can happen to you. All you have to do is take the same leap of faith. I love Joanne's honesty. She's living outdoors. She's living in a camp. And she's very honest with it. I didn't want to be reached. And maybe you're like that. You don't want to be reached. That somehow in what you're doing, what you're going through, the loneliness of it, somehow it comforts you. With Joanne, she would medicate things away. She would medicate all the rejection she experienced growing up. She would take the next hit, the next bottle, the next whatever, in order to have all those feelings go away. She didn't want to be reached. And then finally she came to, I need this. I'll take this leap of faith. And then to her amazement, God showed up. She didn't think it was possible. She didn't think she was worthy. But God showed up. He'll show up for you. You are his child. He came for you. He died for you. And if you'll accept him, he'll do the same thing for you. He'll give you a new life. He'll give you joy. He'll give you righteousness. He'll give you peace. How do you get it? You ask for it. Very simple prayer. Jesus, if you're real, if you're there, if you really are my Savior, if you really came for me, if you can really forgive me, could you show me? Could you show up for me? You showed up for Joanne, show up for me. If you pray that with all of your heart, this isn't something you're trying to, joke with God. If you pray with all of your heart, he'll answer it. If you want help with this prayer, give us a call, 1-800-700-7000. We'll give you a packet. It's called A New Day. It'll teach you what Christians believe and how to live the Christian life. It's all free. Here's a word from Psalms. Those who know your name trust in you, for you, Lord, have never forsaken those who seek you.